After soundly beating the Atlanta Falcons in round 1, we have reached the second round for an Eastern Conference rematch with the Indiana Pacers. Both of these teams have made some adjustments from last year. The Pacers more so than Nashville, adding Julius Randle and Devin Vassell to their starting lineup. But for the most part, our game plan against them will be the same. And with us going against a much more, I will say, even foe here in the second round, we will be going back to kind of the playoff format we were using last season with the 2 games per episode until we reach an elimination game. But let's get this thing underway. Tyrese Halliburton going inside on Pope, but it's a miss. Unfortunately, Halliburton was able to grab his offensive rebound and find Anthony in the corner for 3. Oh, swatted away by Anthony on his little floater attempts in traffic. I don't feel like being in traffic is the best time to attempt the floater. Lowry goes for the step back, and that one is off as well. Vassell driving it in on Malachi Pope and gets the finish. 7-0 the lead here early for Indiana. Nashville having a tough time scoring, but Lamond Powers will get things going for us there. Julius Randle off the dribble. Missed that 3. Certainly had the space, but I don't think Nashville is overly concerned with Julius Randle off the dribble 3s here in this series. Post fadeaway for Anthony. Draws back iron. Nashville running in transition, and they find Ernest Augustine right at the rim. Pick and roll for Halliburton. Make it a pick and pop for Anthony. Just rims around and out. Blocked away off the offensive rebound. Another miss forced. Excellent defensive possession from Ernest Augustine. Oh, missed that jumper, and we just cannot buy a bucket. Halliburton defies gravity for a second there and pulls up for 3. Missed it, but another offensive board for Indiana. Big problem for us early here. Francis Mullins was an absolute beast on the glass last series, but he's struggling here early, as is Sidney Lowry. Has yet to make his first basket, has attempted a few here. Step back 3 from Randle. Again, I think Nashville will take that shot attempt. Here, Lowry gets a look right at the cup and gets his first 2 points on the board. Anthony draws the double team, kicks it out to Vassell. Wide open for 3. Indiana now leads 13-6. We'll make it 13-8 here with a Francis Mullins layup. More doubles for Darren Anthony. This time, though, better rotations will force the turnover. Lowry pick and roll. Goes inside to Ernest Augustine. Nice finish. Halliburton driving inside. He's got Darren Anthony, who's certainly had himself a nice first quarter here. He's been heavily involved. Malachi Pope, that 3 brings it to just a 2-point game. 5 minutes remain here. Randle from the wing, no good, but another offensive board by Darren Anthony. He's been missing some shots, but otherwise has really been outplaying Francis Mullins, I'd say, here in the first quarter. He is the back-to-back MVP, so you're not surprised. Francis Mullins, a good player, but not MVP caliber by any means, as Lowry misses again. You need to see some of those jumpers start to fall for him, or else it might be hard to win this game. Davidson hits a 3 there. Hopefully he can bring the microwave scoring that he so often has, because we really need it here in the first. Here he gets another 3, and he splashes it in again. Just what we needed. off the bench from Davidson. A couple of quick threes to bring it back to 1. Anthony now going to the line. Certainly has made his mark on this game early. Davidson now to the rim. It's swatted away by Anthony. Davidson corrals it and swings it to Moody. We're tied. Pacers trying to get something going quick, but AC Stevens was right on top of that. Now the rookie Bowman off the power screen drills the 3 on top of the key. Anthony with a quick response. He loves going against AC Stevens, I'll tell you that. Powers on the inside, almost with the and 1. Through the Grant Williams contact. Instead he goes to the line for 2 and makes just 1 of his free throws. Reese on the cut. Able to slip past Christian Davidson. Bowen with it again. This time dishes to Davidson, who's got himself his 3rd three-pointer of the quarter. Pick and roll with Grant Williams on the finishing end. Got ourselves quite the first quarter here. Powers feeds it around the horn. We eventually get it to Davidson, who's going to get a screen. Can he hit 3, number 4? Not this time. Nembhard. Great defense there by Bowman. Will force the miss. 1 more shot left in this game. It's going to be Bowman. Sorry, not in this game, but in this quarter. That's going to be off the mark, so it'll be 29-28. A very competitive first quarter. For sure, that had us see Sidney Lowry go just 1 for 8 from the field. Not something you're going to see very often. And Malachi starts the second quarter strong with a big-time take to the basket. Playing through the Grant Williams contacts. And this is the kind of drive I wish we could see more often from him. He loves to go to kind of the more floater-type finishes. But we know he's capable of doing stuff like that, and I feel like it's just most of the time more beneficial. Davidson now missed a couple of threes after the hot start. Pacers go inside to McNeil, and he is stripped by Mullins. Lowry, another miss. We really need to get him going. Now it's Nembhard's turn to fire from deep. But it's another one off the mark. Lowry pulling up in the mid-range. There we go. Just what we need to see. Now McNeil. Defended by Mullins. That one's picked off by Lowry. In transition, he feeds Ernest Augustine right at the rim. 36-30 the score. And Nembhard cuts that lead in half. Step back. Sidney Lowry. There we go. He's getting something going from the mid-range here. Maybe he can expand it out to 3 by the time this game is done. Where he just has not been able to really get himself going today. Nembhard. He's defended by Lowry. Getting hounded there, but unfortunately we had a mismatch down low, and McNeil takes advantage. Malachi dribbling, trying to create some space there from Halliburton, but was unsuccessful in doing so prior to that shot clock expiring. Nice play to open up a wide open driving lane for Nembhard there. Davidson off the catch again. And after 3 straight makes, he's followed them up with 3 misses. Just how it goes sometimes, as we've got a nice finish there by Vassell. Malachi floats it up and in. Nashville retakes the lead. Halliburton on the wing. Finds a cutting Vassell, who is just wrapped up in a big old bear hug by Malachi Pope. He goes 2 for 2 from the line. Pick and roll. Francis Mullins this time with a little short mid-range jumper. Vassell on the drive. He steps out of bounds prior to that dump off to Darren Anthony. Great defense there. Pick and roll. AC Stevens fires it to the corner, and Moses Moody finishes off the play. Spinning is Julius Randle. Would have been a nice play, but Lamont Powers did a nice job staying home. Don't love this transition take. One of the rare Moses Moody, what the heck are you doing shots. Ammons defended by Lamont. He did a great job staying in front, but Ammons finishes it just the same. And now we got Bowman cut into the rim for the one-handed slam. Now Bowman's defending Tyrese Halliburton, and he forces a miss. Nashville going the other way. AC Stevens driving in, but swatted away with the help defense. Halliburton goes off glass on that jump shot. Lamont pulls up on the other end. We'll put a little bit too much mustard on that one. Halliburton, nice feed inside. I mean, these guys just absolutely love to go to the pick and roll. Tyrese Halliburton, and it's hard to blame him. Works quite often for them. And I'll tell you what, I really like this rookie, Phil Bowman. He's making plays on both ends of the court here today. In a close game one here where we've really needed his production. AC Stevens been bullied quite a lot over these last two playoffs against the Pacers, going against Darren Anthony. Decides to do a little bit of bullying on his own. Vassell, tough, leaning shot. Gets it to fall. Malachi, a little bit of a stop and pop. Gets him 2 more points. Step back for Anthony. No good. Nashville running the other way. It's a Phil Bowman 3, which he drills off the assist from the answer. Too strong on the Vassell 3, and it looks like it's going to be off of Indiana. That certainly looked like it was off of Nashville to me, but hey, I'll take the possession. Bowman. Maybe taking a little page out of Malachi's book. That definitely looked like a Malachi Pope floater. Darren Anthony needs to come up with something with 1 on the shot clock, and he does just that. Leaves us very little time to come up with something, but Malachi does just the same. An 8-point Nashville lead heading into the halftime break after a strong second quarter performance. Malachi leads us, tied with Bowman, who was just excellent here in the first half for scoring. Also put in 7 assists, did Malachi. And, you know, we have an 8-point lead despite Sidney Lowry having maybe his worst half of playoff basketball he's ever had. So I think you got to feel good about winning this game. Sidney Lowry's probably not doing that again next half. Ernest Augustine going to be the one that get the second half going. Darren Anthony responds. Lowry blocked away by Anthony, but he was fouled, so Lowry gets a couple of free throws. Maybe these can get him going. Got some success in that second quarter in the mid-range. Just not the volume we're used to. Anthony. He's hounded by Francis Mullins, who forces a bad pass. In transition, Lowry in the mid-range again. And that's definitely become his range here today. Ernest Augustine just absolutely denied the crap out of that shot. My goodness. Wanted nothing to do with that Julius Randle attempt. Unfortunately, Indiana still got a good shot. Lowry rebounds his own miss and puts it right back in. Halliburton no good. Off the dribble. Malachi gets the handoff and turns it into a three-pointer on top of the key. More pick and pop for Indiana. Darren Anthony left open for three. On the cuts, Lowry gets another two. Already seeing him be more involved here in the second half. Trying to get him some looks on the interior, it looks like, is Quinn Snyder. Good way to get a guy going. Turnaround for Francis Mullins. Is a misfire. Julius Randle continues to not shoot very efficiently tonight. Gotta give some credit to Ernest Augustine for that, as well as maybe a little bit of questionable decision making with his shot selection. Malachi drops both free throws, as he so often does. Very talented from the stripe. Sella waits a screen. Pick and pop with Darren Anthony. They've been going to this one a lot. This one's no good. Malachi with shot clock winding down. Davidson, 3 threes in the first quarter. Has yet to get one since, though. Pick and roll top of the key. Malachi Pope. He's inside. Trying to get past Vassell. Tough shot, but he hit it anyway. And now the Nashville Sound lead by 19. Just absolutely putting the clamps down defensively. Finding better shots here on the offensive end as well. Like this mismatch in the post for Francis Mullins. And we're making the most. Up by 21 here. We're going to transition to showing just the makes. Unless Indiana can come back here and make this one closer to that 10-point margin. Darren Anthony corrals it and shoots it inside for two. Moody, that one's picked off. Trying to find A.C. Stevens there. In transition, Indiana with a quick two. Mullins has a mismatch in the post again and makes it count. Now we're feeding Mullins on the elbow. You'll notice that we have both A.C. Stevens and Francis Mullins on the courts. I don't know why that is. Clearly not following my predetermined lineups if that's the case, but there you have it. After three, the Nashville Sound lead by 21. Indiana needs to start making a comeback here, or we might just simulate part of this fourth. Nashville in transition. They find Malachi Pope in an open corner three. Nembhard inside to Grant Williams, lays it up and in. A.C. Stevens. Lowry, there he hits a three. A rare sighting today. Sell off the handoff. Has space. Splash it home in the mid-range. Nice find inside for Lamond Powers. I don't know how much more of this game we really need to see. Sidney Lowry hits the three. And 4 minutes into this quarter, Indiana has done absolutely nothing to buy into this lead. So I think we can go ahead and wrap this one up and get ourselves to game two. Overall, just a great performance on both sides of the ball. After the first quarter, I was expecting this one to be a very competitive game, but Nashville just completely outperformed Indiana after that quarter. We end up getting 18 points from Ernest Augustine, which is pretty surprising. You never really get that scoring output, but I'm happy for it. Devin Vassell leads the scoring for the Pacers with Darren Anthony behind him. And with that all wrapped up, let's hop into game 2 now. And we're going to win the tip-off here. Malachi Pope bringing the ball up. Gonna dish this off to Francis Mullins. We find a cutting Sidney Lowry for 2. And I do just have to say something for game 2. You're gonna notice this fade transition throughout the entire game. I do not know how that happened. I put the fade transition from the game 2 graphic into the opening tip-off. And then I edited the game and it just applied the fade transition to everything. So next time I'll have to wait to put the transition until after I've edited the game. So I'm sorry, but you're going to get this fade transition between every single play in game 2. Wasn't my intention, but I can't really fix it. So here we are. Nashville leads 6-4. Malachi loses the ball. A little bit later in that possession, we get a Tyrese Halliburton 3, but it's off the mark. Nashville running the ball, and we give the ball right back. Prefer if we could, get some shots out of our possessions rather than just handing the ball to Indiana. But that's just me. On the pick and roll, fancy finish from Ernest Augustine. Love to see that. Darren Anthony in the post. Guarded well by Mullins, and he forces the miss. Nice job on defense there. Mullins finds the big man in transition and rewards him for his great defensive effort. Darren Anthony stepping back from 3, and it's off once more. Malachi drops Tyrese Halliburton and hits the mid-range shot. That was beautiful. Halliburton beyond the arc to Darren Anthony. He couldn't quite corral it, and it's going to result in a fast break dunk from Francis Mullins. Don't often see him take the ball all the way up the court. Foul there is going to give Tyrese Halliburton a pair of free throws. Second one drops for him, so it's 14-8 here. 5 minutes into this game. Lowry right down the barrel with that 3-pointer. Darren Anthony on the inside finds a mismatch against Powers, but the help defense results in an Indiana 3, although I thought the defense was pretty good. Malachi, no good. Pulling up from the mid-range. Tyrese just rattles around and out. Nashville going the other way. Sidney Lowry in transition with the slam. Man, I gotta say, I'm really sorry about this transition. It's already getting annoying for me. And we're still in the first quarter. I did not think this was going to happen when I chopped up that video. Malachi, very deep from 3. Still managed to put too much on that one. Darren Anthony on the pick and roll with the finish. Mullins on the cuts. Gets the feed right on the money from Sid the Kid. Double screen for Halliburton. He's going to pull up from 3, but Sidney Lowry, nice job sifting through the screens. Trying to find another cutter here, but it's off the mark, and Indiana gets the quick basket in transition off of it. Just a 2-point game here. Another competitive first quarter. Malachi has that shot blocked away, and somehow it's off of him. Okay. I don't know how that shot gets blocked and it's off of Malachi. Maybe it is near something on the way down. And with that, Julius Randle 3, Indiana has the lead. Davidson not able to answer back. Julius Randle. missing from the mid-range. Bowman gets a chance to put us back on top and does just that. Very strong first 5 quarters of this series for Phil Bowman. Davidson gets another 3-point opportunity and drills it. Nemhard to Grant Williams. Beautiful ball movement by the Pacers there to get the easy dunk. Bowman, nice baseline drive. And a fancy finish. Nemhard hits that one right in the face of Christian Davidson. All right. Give credit where it's due. Last shot here of the first quarter. Certainly could have tried harder to get a better one, I feel, but game 1 was 29-28 after 1. Game 2 was 29-27. Very similar quarters. In terms of overall production, at least, the players scoring those points was different between those games for sure. Nice defense there to start the quarter. Pick and roll now for AC Stevens. Easy slam dunk for him. Picked off by Lamont Powers. He hands it off to Lowry in transition and gets it back. Just had to let Sidney Lowry borrow it for a couple seconds so he could get up the court quickly. Lowry off the screen. Has plenty of space. Can't hit the shot, but AC Stevens right there on the boards. He's definitely our best offensive rebounder. And I think Francis Mullins is our best defensive rebounder. As McNeil gets a finish inside. Lowry. Great defense by Christie to force him to pick up his dribble. It's blocked away by McNeil on that first Stevens attempt. But he stuck with it and gets fouled on the second. AC Stevens goes 2 for 2. Wow, okay. Not something you often see. Nemhard, no good. Now we're going to AC Stevens in the post. Again, we're seeing Stevens and Mullins play together. I don't know why 2K is doing this. I have to look. Maybe they're not using my actual lineups. I haven't actually been paying attention to when people are going in and out of the game. My goodness, Malachi, where did that come from? Have we ever seen Malachi go up like this on a drive? Feels like whenever he dunks it, it's off of the catch, but off a drive, he's always going for the finesse, but absolute massive dunk from Malachi Pope. My goodness. Lowry up top. Off the perfect pass from Pope. Good defense there as well. Malachi having himself a nice second quarter. Here he picks up another assist. Nashville leads by 13, and we force the Indiana timeout. 7 minutes remain in the second. Great look from Vassell. Lowry tries to answer and does exactly that. Halliburton with it on the pick and roll, and the athletic finish from Julius Randle. Double screen for Malachi. Baseline jumper falls. Julius Randle. Fade away jumper right on over the top of Francis Mullins. AC Stevens beyond the arc. That's not his range. Step in a couple steps, brother, and you probably get yourself a basket. AC in the post. Double teamed, but when it's a couple of guards, it doesn't really matter. Julius Randle, defended by Ernest Augustine, who continues to just be a great defender here in the playoffs. Sid, no good. But Francis Mullins on the boards, finds an open second chance 3, but it's also off the mark. Vassell trying to shoot in transition. But it gives us a transition opportunity on the other end, and we get about as good as look as you can get from Sidney Lowry. Randall tries to dish it off in the post. Great defense again by Augustine, but this time Randall finishes the play. Blocked away by Darren Anthony on that Sidney Lowry attempt. Here he gets another. Off the mark again. Randall, somehow he was getting a double team there. Has Julius Randall been playing well enough to get a second defender trying to get over there? I don't know. I would say so. Vassell from the mid-range. Indiana with it again. Vassell, this time picking a pop with Randall. No good. Ernest Augustine on the boards. Here he gets the pass and the finish. Anthony, defended by Mullins. Strong move in the post, but even stronger defense. This time Mullins gets his shot in the post, but both centers holding their own on the defensive side. Now Anthony going to try the jumper. Still no good. Maybe it's time to go to somebody other than these centers. Bowman uses glass on the jump shots. Second quarter coming to a close here. Gonna be a missed three from Hammond. Gonna try to get one more shot, but instead we're gonna turn the ball over, and now Indiana will play for the last shot here. Not gonna have a ton of time to set it up. It'll be a deep Nemhard three. It's no good. 18-point lead at halftime, and I think with this one, we're going to transition to just showing the makes here in the second half until either the game ends or it's out of hand, or Indiana brings it back to closer to 10 points. The difference overall, once again, just a very strong second quarter. Indiana keeps it close for a quarter. I mean, props to them for that, but then Nashville has really started to take over in these first two games. Darren Anthony gets things going to start the second half. Malachi has an open look for three. Easy. Too easy. Lowry gets the double team, and it leaves Francis Mullins all alone inside. Halliburton, fed by Lowry, does a nice job remaining patient to get a look that he wants. Ernest Augustine with it now. Dishes to Powers. Trying to get by his man, and he does. Tell you what, I really like rookie Lamont Powers, but second year Lamont is just such an impressive player. And I'm super glad that we made the choice to trade Baldwin for Powers a couple off seasons ago. Nice finish from Halliburton. He's finishing over some tough Francis Mullins defense. Sorry, not Francis Mullins, Sidney Lowry. That time he absolutely shook him, though. Sid inside. Finishes. And gets fouled by Devin Vassell. That free throw falls as well. Double screen for Halliburton. Three on top of the key. He has absolutely turned things on here in the third quarter. Unfortunately, he's the only one turning things on, and the deficit is exactly the same as it was when we started the quarter here. Halliburton continues to dominate the third quarter. Oh, finds an open man in transition. It's Moses Moody. I mean, I don't know how you're leaving him that wide open. He's been at least, what, a 39% three-point shooter for 3-4 years straight now. Here he does a nice job finding Powers, who's gonna finish through the contacts, and when opportunity finishes it as well. Darren Anthony almost had that one stolen away on the entry pass. Instead, it's a two-hand flush. Davidson from the wing drills it. 20-point game. Anthony inside to Halliburton. Another finish. Davidson, another opportunity. Here we go. He's starting to heat up a bit. Oh, from the wing, drills it. Malachi has always been very steady at that point guard spot for us today. Moody left all to his lonesome again. I don't know what this strategy by Indiana is. I mean, I know you got to leave somebody open, but I wouldn't have it be Moody. I don't know who I would have it be as. I feel like we've done a good job making sure everybody on the court is a threat, but I don't know. I'd try a new defensive strategy. That's all I'm saying. Third quarter will come to a close here. It's going to be 96-77. At the end of it, the deficit remains pretty much the same heading into the fourth. Let's see if Indiana can make any sort of comeback or if we'll be simcasting the end of this one once more. I'm going to start with an Ernest Augustine missed three that Francis Mullins cleans up. Grant Williams, great look. Right down the barrel. Ernest Augustine gets another chance from three this time. Nails it. Davidson. To Mullins. And the Nashville Sound are heating up from deep. Lowry inside. Blocked away, but fouled by Christie. First free throw is good. Second is as well, and that makes this a 25-point ball game. I mean, I don't know if I need to see any more of this. Again, just straight up two-way domination from our Nashville Sound. I was really hoping we'd find ourselves a challenge here in Indiana. Thought the moves that they made last offseason were good, that they would close the gap, especially with us losing a player rather than gaining one in our rotation. But it's just clear that Nashville Sound have become the class of the Eastern Conference. Still haven't faced Charlotte, which might be a tough opponent for us in the Eastern Conference Finals. And yes, I'm basically saying it's a foregone conclusion. We're going to the Eastern Conference Finals after this 2-0 lead. I'd be shocked if Indiana won more than one game in this series, let alone won the series. I do think Charlotte's better than Milwaukee and that they'll beat them, but we'll just have to see what happens. That's all I've got for the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back soon with more, and until then, sound up.